Hi, good morning, everyone. Now it's another week. I'm so sure last week most of the people are pretty happy. It's a very strong momentum and sustainable week. We're showing the market bullish. That's the way I told you, right? So there was a deep couple of deep probably have a time to buy if you were bought it and you pick it up. And you really set up a stage for July. Quarterly earnings that hopefully will have a further uptick. So if you look at this graph, just want to illustrate to you what this really meant. Is really saying that this is analyzing a rate cycle of 1994, 1990, 2000, and 2015. And whenever you say that the interest rate going to rise, is actually the 12 months and ahead and 36 months after the first rate increase, which is only these 3 years that will be merged. That actually was showing you that the market have been still momentumly up. What I meant is, well, despite the market would be already too high and think it may crash with interest rate pressure, potential tapering. Now people know what's going on and really suspending the Fed will not take action till next year. It really gives you a chance and opportunity. The market could go up further if you look at it from a trend perspective before you really, crash. And again, I'm more focused on talking about Dow and S&P 500 in particular. A lot of people talking S&P 500 lately because Dow doesn't it's not very representational, not Nasdaq these days, and Nasdaq obviously with yield curve going up, then you actually will have push it down. Although they both of them were done very well, they're breaking the record high already, Nasdaq and S&P 500 this week, last week. So given that period with Dow Jones Industrial average lost 1182 points, the Dow Jones Industrial average jumped 1.8% on Monday. The Nasdaq and S&P also rose. The rally was gift-driven by reopening trade, which was mostly stumbled in June as large-cap technology stocks began to outperform. Energy stocks were up and banks were also among top gainers. Again, energy stock, JP Morgan targeting oil price to go up to $80 and oil inventory fell. So you're really talking about the demand of energy actually getting picked up with the economy reopening. So potentially, energy stock would be the way to buy again in the short term in this summer section. DoorDash climbed more than 3% while stock moved higher on Monday. Cryptocurrency experienced a sharp decline, which actually is still a decline right now compared to early Monday. Bitcoin fell more than 40% over the weekend as China continued to crack down mining operation in countries. So China have a lot of cryptocurrency of their own as well. I did invest a little bit on those, but those were not doing well. And some of them actually lost 90% of the value already. And some of them maybe 50% value because again it's go up and down. So I would say it's actually gone down as low as 90% value loss. But if we buy it maybe 60% back now, but it's still properly at a loss if you didn't buy a very early stage. And what they do is a lot of these cryptocurrencies in China actually need BTC back. So what it means is they do have to buy Bitcoin in order to exchange it. So they have an exchange rate on top of the layers. You can't buy directly. And there were rumor, or from my understanding, you should be able to open the market so therefore it'll be a direct trade. If you, for example, if you want currency BD, they will have a price and you go direct buy BD. But as of this moment, you're still using a BTC and BTC currency, swapping it. So that way, what I meant is when BTC price were down, potentially these other alternative cryptocurrency in China also going down. And I read article about regulations and some counties did announce that they are cracking down the mining operation in China. Now, whether they did take action or not, or just warning to people, I am not so sure about that. So. Sometimes you also took time to make that actually materialize, they actually take action. Pick up from previous day momentum, US stock again trade higher again at the Federal Reserve chair reiterated his outlook for inflation pressure with the transactionary. Technology stock continued to ride the weakness in bond yield, with the United States 10-year remaining below 1.5%. As long as this yield curve again is going down, Nasdaq will be doing well. So that's why Nasdaq you see here record high again. Microsoft hit a $2 trillion market cap for the first time ever. It's the second largest public company by market capitalization behind Apple. This showed Nasdaq almost record high on that day, and of course, again at the end of the week, it will break the record. Tesla rebound from a low to $656. Dogecoin has dropped more than 75% since the peak, and PTC has dropped below $30,000. WTI crude fell to $73, and gold also slipped to 1776.83 per ounce. The market was up in Wednesday morning, so that's Tuesday. Wednesday morning, but in a mix, the U.S. 10-year Treasury note still remained below 1.5%. U.S. dollar rose to its strongest level against Japanese yen in 15 months. U.S. stock gain on Thursday with Nasdaq 100 and S&P 500 surging. Weekly jobless claim resumed their downward trend on Thursday, falling to 411,000, which was slightly higher than economists' estimate. But again, I have to tell you this, right? Unemployment benefit cut and people forced to get off from the unemployment. So that's why this number dropped, right? There's still a lot of people looking for jobs as far as I know and can't really get a reasonable work. Again, there's a lot of rip off. Let's say if the job ratio paid $100 an hour, well, just make it easy, right? Maybe more realistic, or $40 an hour. Now you cut to $25 an hour to pay you. So for the job that used to be $25, now you cut it to $15. The only difference is Biden want to make somebody who make $10 to become $15 making as a minimum wage. So again, the lower class people get benefit from Biden directions, but the middle class suffer and the rich people get richer. So, I mean, you have to look who you are, right? And it's really difficult to talk about fairness. So that's it's always interesting about why the policy, even though I'm interested in politics, but why the government policy is such a substantial and very important impact on your life, right? That's, to me, it's not democracy, it's not freedom or any kind, but it's just whatever they do will impacting your employment, impacting your inflation, therefore cost you more to buy stuff, right? And these are things really directly impacting your standard of living. People calling about that 1 million trillion. But the good news is the 1 million trillion infrastructure deal was support from both Republican and Democrat. These two parties always fight. So the record day on Wall Street was driven by bond value, with most Saturday bearing real estate and utility rank up gains. The market finished strong Friday and another strong day with S&P 500 and Nasdaq hit record high. Tesla is a big winner this week, rebounding $672 from as low as previous week. We look at the 580. Like you saw, as much as 15% after crashing earnings, while Virgin Galactic gained as much as 22%. For the week, Dow Jones went up 1143.76 to 34,433.84. So they're still about 160 points away from record high. S&P 500 landed on 4280.70, which is 2.7% increase from previous week and also record high. Nasdaq also rebounded from 50 days average low to 14,370.39, which is another record high. So besides stock, I provide you from previous video for those who listen to my video. And so these may also have some few more for you to consider in your portfolio. Costco, C-O-S-T. Okay. Although people think the company, will be in pressure, things are getting more expensive. What experts say, they will transfer the cost, whether increase from transportation or the materials, to the customer. Therefore, they will maintain the margin, or even actually higher margin, as an excuse that now everybody know that there's inflation in place in America. So the company said we increase membership. It's already announced in previous quarter, and most likely the cost of product will go offset. So and then the other one, if you think about BRZL, which is the one I recommended on my previous video, penny stock, is 2 penny. Then you can consider Ultra Beauty, ULTA. I mean, I don't remember if they partner with Target or Walmart, but they all actually have a shelf still in their products there, or maybe Walgreens, I don't remember. But, beauty product, again, the company has recently delivered a stellar earning report and increasing comp store sale of over 65%, while most people are going out again, lady will probably consume more makeup again. So Marvell Technology, MRVL, another semiconductor making this list. The company is a fabless semiconductor company, meaning that it outsources much of its semiconductor fabrication to third party. I'm still a big fan of Disney, Baba, XP Saint-Pain, HYLM, who will be entering the HYLM will be entering Russell 3000, 2000 soon, and a few Chinese stock which is already covered previously, like Pinduoduo, somebody like JD. I mean, those two are the same kind of business. BID, your Baidu, I think when the IPO in Hong Kong, it was started at $250, and now it went back up almost $200. So still $50 get everything. They were as high as $375, I think. So it's still a bargain at this point. And Pinduoduo was $202, 52-week high. Right now it's $130, so still a bargain. And Bilibili, if you look at it, it went back up $115. So, but I still think it will be $125. And then Dada DADA is more speculative in nature. You can look at DADA. So that's still a pretty good, share in Office. Office's EV stock also is a Chinese company, if you will. Credit Suisse believe that S&P 500 will be headed at 4,600. Market simply believe it is too soon for Federal Reserve taper as central bank's two-day meeting kicks off Tuesday. According to Bank of America latest monthly fund manager survey, 72% are buying the fresh line that inflation is transitional. Well, the reality is it really transactionary? What is the definition of transactionary? What are the data they're comparing? If compare previous year, which are during pandemic, obviously the inflation. But if they pick a more point, previous years may not be the case. And you look at American history, I mean, inflation had happened in the history of the time, but they normally did drop. They drop off after a couple of years or whatever. So the word transactional, again, how long is it definition by? But I just hope, whether this is going up or not, definitely impact the people's lives. So I hope the salary, employment, things will be more robust with Biden $1 trillion plan, which really will create more jobs. And again, it has to be a reasonable pay job. I mean, I can even take out my money and say, hi everybody, $5 an hour, $10 an hour, right? I can hire a bunch of people too. Well, and then you call your life is wonderful, employment is great, and the country is great. No, so this is why I don't, the country's so big, they talk about average, look at all the trend and comparison, but at the end of the day, you have to look up, lower class, middle class, and upper class, and how things would be. I would say the wealth kind of be more evenly, not doing policy only favoring one party, but one group of people, but not the others, right? So our work indicated that company experienced essential pricing power, which would lead to greater profitability despite high input costs. Counter Gallup. Economic activity has improved after July, and that is a true catalyst of S&P 500 advance. The strategies argue. While the pace of improvement is sure to moderate, growth is projected to remain well above trend through the end of 2022, which I probably kind of agree with that. I mean, you can probably will be again see a very strong earnings in the coming quarter, and they beat their estimate. They may actually uplift their forecast of the outlook of the foreign quarter. A lot of things were when the economy going back up with vaccination. I mean, I would not dispute these data and statistic and also the future. But at the same time, remember, people also say the stock market is 6 months ahead of the curve. So if you look at some of the stock, you think about it, like, are they already overpriced? Give them all this pricing into the model. But, if you hear a lot of people lately, everybody think, hey, stock were overvalued, right? Well, if you're 1,000 stock in the pool, 959 stock were overpriced. Well, the market will no longer mention the word overpriced because what else you can buy? You can sell all this stuff in pre-market crash. So at this point, it's more, in my opinion, it's more a macroeconomic factor driven the market momentum upward and left, right? And also you have to look at your portfolio by sector. It may not be a specific stock, by sector. So that's why we're still betting on energy, right? Energy in summer, travel industry, which is airline and cruise and trip TIP, right? And then maybe Airbnb, but they're not doing very well. I didn't see the stock how much. And then you look at the other sector, retail. I mean retail, because people still go and more stronger to go back to buy stuff. I mean last Christmas, maybe the mood or even celebrating Christmas was really weak. So people will still buy things for the children. And then you have look at vacationing, right? People still thinking take off summer. I mean, I heard people want to take off summer to take their kids somewhere now, right? And then on the 4th of July, pick up from there. And so there's a lot of things you need to think about for and the restaurant. I mean, although at this point restaurants still a setback, but you can see a lot more crowd now really dining in and people, maybe it's just a redistribution. You should be dining delivery, right? So you don't see the people now is more dining, but the volume is remain the same. Who knows, right? And then you also seen, more activities, outdoor activities and so on. With the weather seems to be turning better, but in Houston pretty hot. So you can see all these elements, so you have to look at which portfolio, what are the things, how you strategize yourself, right? And then also, the reason why Chinese stock would be good potential is Communist Party is celebrating 100 years creation in July, so a few more days down. So Chinese stock could be pumped up a little bit. Then maybe you drop a little bit with the earnings, then you push up before the earnings, you make a drop down again. Then you look at, like I always have been telling you, the third quarter, fourth quarter is a time for the Chinese stock to strong again. So typically Chinese stock have a different cycle than American stock. That's just something you need to bear in mind. And the chief's market strategy, David Keller at stockchart.com, toldinvesting.com, and in the interview on Thursday, that while the S&P has shifted to new high, this market has felt less overwhelming bullish and more rotational. So again, the money shifting around, and I've been talking about it before. Well, it is the best time. It's still not too late to rotate your portfolio, right? So if the stock already gone up, help you recover, even make money, you got to look at what is next, what is the future, what are good to buy now, what is something I think fundamentally strong. If the market crash, I don't have to worry and panic, right? Because remember, you've gone through the sell-up cycle. You've gone through in March, between March and May, the market was actually a pretty bad time, particularly in NASDAQ. Just you got to remember the lesson, right? You got the lesson learned, and then see how you can manage your portfolio better. And obviously, again, you may up to this point that to probably have 20% improvement in your portfolio. Some people may have up to 40% improvement in portfolio, depending on what kind of stock you're holding. With the possible injection, more money in the economy, more retail spending, vacation, more people back to normal life, well, these are going to help the stock market. The stock market is a bullish upside, in my opinion, and it's also yield curve remain around 1.5%. Because this yield curve is out of my control, I cannot predict it, and then we should be in good shape. So enjoy the ride and look at this stuff set up as a stage to July earnings seasons, which will continue to be bullish. And then after that, we'll have to watch the corporate tax, the Biden $1 trillion plan. I actually think $2 trillion will really help for the American economy, right? The Tokyo Olympics, we'll see how if that actually have any impact on the market. Because somebody said whenever the big event like that happened, the stock market actually didn't do well that year. And then we'll see if anything else, the pharmacy side and the new innovations and the EV space. Have a nice and wonderful week. Hope you enjoy your weekend.